Hi, I'm Deborah.
And I'm Lawrence.
And in this video, we're going to talk about something that we've gotten a few questions on, which is kids and teens asking, how do I talk to my parents about getting a service dog? So there are some good videos on YouTube by service dog handlers, and we're going to put links to those below, and we recommend that you, that you watch those and get different viewpoints. The main thing to remember, and I know I'm sounding like a grown-up by saying this, is this dog is going to be a huge responsibility. First of all,
you sound exactly like a parent.
I know. Well, I am a parent. So. But looking at it at the viewpoint from your parents, I mean, this is not just saying I want a pet. This is something different. I mean, we've talked about some of the things to consider in previous videos, and definitely you want to think about those, and you're going to have to think of counter arguments based on your research to any objections your parents may have. But the main thing is you have to get your doctor on board. If your doctor doesn't agree that a service dog is your best option for handling your anxiety and or panic attacks, panic disorder, then you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to have that. First of all, you have to have a letter from your doctor in some cases, for instance, you're going to have it to show the school. You're going to have it when, if you go to college. You're going to have it if you, have a service dog in a workplace. So it's not just that it's a hurdle, but if you trust your doctor and your doctor is saying, I don't think this is the best option for you, then you have to, you have to respect that. As I'm saying, if you trust your doctor.
Mm-hmm.
If you think your doctor just doesn't care, or you want to ask your doctor to explain their reasoning if they say it's not the best option. It may be, for instance, that you haven't tried medication and they feel that you should try medication first. So your doctor has to be your partner in this, or you're really not going to, there's no way you're going to be able to get your parents on your side. If you don't have your doctor on your side, your parents are not going to be on your side for this.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, okay, let's say your doctor's on your side. That's probably half the battle. But the thing is, a service dog, as I said, is not just a pet. Okay, so there are some things that set it apart. One is that you're going to have to spend, it's not just the cost of having a dog, the cost of food, vet bills, potential expensive vet bills, because you do not know how sick your dog might get at any point. So it's not just that. It's also that even if, let's say your family has the money to buy a service dog they're generally about 80% trained, you have to do the other percent of training. And this is a time commitment. A friend of mine, her daughter got a service dog, and we actually did an interview with her that you might want to watch. But one thing she said is that she was constantly training her dog, constantly. So she wouldn't necessarily do like hours at a time, because the dog gets tired, the service handler gets tired. But she would have in her mind, she learned, obviously she had to learn how to train the dog. And she'd like do, a few minutes here, a few minutes there. But so it was always on her mind. So if you, for instance, feel that your parents are going to say, well, you're not responsible enough, then you are kind of facing an uphill battle. So what you have to do then is, in other words, if it's not money, not the size of where you're living, where you're living is too small, stuff like that. Let's say your parents are like, listen, we have the money, we have the space, no one is like deathly allergic to dogs, but we just don't think you're responsible enough. So you have to anticipate that that's going to happen. So what you should probably do is do your research. Actually, you should do your research before you even talk to your doctor, because you need to know what some of the hurdles are, and you know what some, not just hurdles, but you know, facts essentially. Okay, this is why a service dog is a good option for me. You have to do your research. You have to basically do a presentation to your parents. If your doctor doesn't,
Maybe even make a PowerPoint.
yeah, why not? I mean, if you, especially because for a lot of people, it helps to have their thoughts in order. You want to do a spreadsheet or something showing the cost per month, the cost per year of the dog. If possible, you should see if you can, if you don't have a job, you should see about getting one so that you can say to your parents, listen, I'm willing to pay for, you know, let's say 80% at least of the dog's costs. And that's one of the commitments you're making. I mean, you're making a commitment for at least 10 years probably to be taking care of this dog, and that means money. At absolute minimum, if you have a healthy dog, it's still going to need food. It's still going to need shots. It's still going to need worming, flea collar, stuff like that. So if you show your parents, listen, I know how much this is about, how much this is going to cost, or the projected costs, and you know, I'm willing to either get a job or work around the house to, you know, to basically earn the money for your parents to, you know, to agree to pay the cost of the dog. You have to be willing to say, this is my responsibility and I will do what I need to do to have the service dog. You also should probably do research on how to train the dog, so that if your parents say, well, you don't even know how to train a dog, say, well, you know, let's say you have to start from scratch, the way my friend's daughter did. You know, they didn't have the money to go and buy a dog that was mostly trained, because it's, you could be talking, talking tens of thousands of dollars. So let's say you're starting from scratch. You have to be able to say to your parents, I know exactly what I'm going to need to do. I know what temperament. I've researched the breeds that are decent temperaments. I've researched whether mixed breed dogs are good. I've researched this. You have to be able to answer all their questions.
You have to put in the work to research and prepare before even considering this.
Yeah, you really do. So, I mean, if this is the right thing for you, it'll be a godsend. The main thing is you have to show your parents that you are, in essence, an adult. You are taking the responsibility
Of an adult.
Of an adult, yeah. So, so if you do all that, chances are that you'll be able to overcome most of their objections. And, you know, just, you want to emphasize, this is going to allow me to continue to have a life outside the house. And, you know, so you do also want to be able to show to them, this is how this dog will be able to help me in this situation. You know, if you have extreme social anxiety, let's say, you'll be able to say, okay, well, I can train the dog to block, to create a buffer between me and people. So, you know, you need to be able to say, this is exactly, these are the ways that this dog can help me that other anxiety treatments can't. You have to look at, is it right for my temperament, and what am I willing to give up? Am I willing to give up time? Am I willing to...
Am I willing to, I don't know, cancel an extracurricular to devote that time instead to training this dog?
Right. You have to look at whether it's going to fit into your lifestyle. If you haven't looked at that, your parents are not going to be too excited about the idea. So it's just looking at it and taking a careful looking at it, and doing your research, and being able to show that you've done your research to your parents.
Mm. Well, if you found this video helpful, you can give it a like. If you didn't, you can give it a dislike. If you would like to say anything at all, you can leave it in the form of a comment. And if you'd like to see more content like this, then you're welcome to subscribe. But in any case, we hope that you have a nice day.
Take care.